Hello, thank you for trying out Fraction Sumo. Once you have all of your components, this is what it should look like. You have 3 decks. You have a red Sumo deck, numbered 1 through 15, blue Sumo deck, 1 through 15, and a green audience deck, 1 through 15. You'll need something to represent the red Sumo, and something to represent the blue Sumo, and you should have 5 arena cards. They look something like that. Setup is pretty straightforward. You'll need the red Sumo deck and the blue Sumo deck. Those should be shuffled. The green audience deck also needs to be shuffled. And you can choose how many arena squares you put out. I suggest using 3 to start the game, and then put the sumos so that they're facing each other in the middle. So each sumo has a space, and they have an equal number of spaces behind them. So I suggest 3. If you wanted to do 4, that's no problem, but make sure that the sumos are even on the board. So this sumo has 3 and 3 behind. Okay. Each player will need to draw 5 cards to make up their hand, and then you can start playing. Okay, so here we have both players have drawn their hands. Of course, when people are actually playing, they should keep their hands secret. This is just show you what everything looks like. So when you play Fraction Sumo, make sure that you are holding your cards where the other player cannot see them. Okay, a round of Fraction Sumo starts with the audience. So we'll put 1 audience card in the bottom spot of a fraction. Both players will put a numerator here. This is our denominator. Here. So this 5 will become the numerator of this fraction. And here. This 12 will become the denominator of this fraction. When players play cards, they will choose one of their cards. They will place it face down in the empty spot. Okay. So the goal here, the left fraction, players want to create the smallest fraction possible. The smaller fraction will win this round. Here, we want to create the fraction closest to half. And the fraction closest to half will win this round. And here, we want the largest fraction possible. The largest fraction wins this round. So let's go ahead and play through a turn so you can see what it looks like. So here, red has 12, 4, 13, 7, and 8, and we are looking at our cards on the field. So here, our audience card is a 2. The smallest fraction we could make here is 1 out of 2. Okay, our cards are numbered 1 through 15. 1 is the smallest number I can put here in the numerator to create 1/2. If I put a 2 here, it would be 2 halves. 3 would be 3 halves. 3 halves and 2 halves are both bigger than 1/2. And of course, if we did something like 13 halves, well, that's just gigantic. We don't want to do that. Which fraction is equivalent to 1/2? 5 out of 10 would be 1/2. If my pizza has 10 slices and I have eaten 5 of those slices, I've eaten half a pizza. So I would like to put 10 here if I have it. And over here, our numerator wants to be bigger because we're trying to make a bigger fraction. So again, we have the smallest fraction, closest to half, and the largest. So coming back here, my cards are fine. They're not great. I notice that I don't have a 1, which would give me 1/2. I don't have a 10, which would give me 1/2 exactly here. And I don't have a 15. Again, they're numbered 1 through 15. 15 would be the best play here. So I have to choose the cards that would be best in this situation. I'm going to try 13. I don't think my opponent will have a card bigger than 13. So when I play this, I make sure my opponent cannot see it. I play it face down. So this shows I have a card ready for 12. In the middle, I want to find something as close to half as possible. 8 is kind of close. 9 and 10 and 11 would both beat it. So I'm not sure. Let's try it. And now here, 1/2. I really want to try to get a better card. So on your turn, you have the option of discarding 2 cards. When you discard, they go next to your deck, face up. And now I've discarded 2. I get to draw 1 card. Oof, that's actually quite a bit better. So I'll go ahead and play that here. So just to review, played a 3 here. I'm hoping 3/2 will be smaller than what my opponent plays. Here, played 5/8. I'm hoping that will be closer to half than whatever my opponent plays. And here I have played 13/12. Hopefully that is bigger than the fraction my opponent makes. Okay, so now both players have played for the smallest fraction, both players have played for the fraction closest to half, and both players have played for largest fraction. Let's see what happens. So, battle of smallest fraction. I've played 3/2. Here, blue is playing 2/2. 2/2 is smaller than 3/2. So, blue wins this round, which means my sumo gets pushed back and blue advances. Let's take a look at the battle of half. I played 5/8, which is pretty good. And blue has played 5/10, which is exactly half. Red gets pushed back, blue moves forward, and we are in danger of falling outside of the ring. So we better hope that blue does not have a better attack than we did on the largest fraction slot. Here we played 13/12. Is 13/12 larger than 7/12? Whew, it is. So we had the larger fraction, which means we are going to push blue back. When this round is over, each player will take their cards back and put them into the discard pile. Any cards that the player did not play, they're going to keep, and they will draw back up to 5 cards. The audience cards will also be discarded, being put down face up next to their pile. And of course, blue's cards will be discarded and placed next to their pile. In the first round, the audience card started as the denominator in this slot. Now, it'll be the numerator. Middle card will be the denominator, and the top card will be the numerator. All right, we are all ready for round 2. Looking at the battle of smallest fraction, red is able to play 9/14. So it's really promising. There's only one way to get smaller than that. Here, blue plays, of course, blue has played 9/15. Red gets pushed back, blue advances. Again, red is 1 spot away from being knocked out. It could all end here. Red has 5/6, and blue plays 3/6. Lucky blue once again. 3/6 is half, so red gets pushed back, blue moves forward. The moment a sumo leaves the ring, the match is over. This match goes to blue. So there are 2 ways to change the way that Fraction Sumo gameplay feels. You can change the size of the arena. So you can start with 3 cards. That's what I recommend for players starting out. You can try to go as small as 2. I do not recommend 1 because that will be a very short game. Oh, you won smallest fraction, game is over. So when you are playing, make sure you have at least 2. And if you want a long game, you can go up to 5 cards. As you can see, a 5-card arena would be quite the battle. It could take a while. The other way to change gameplay in Fraction Sumo is by using what I call heavyweight mode. In heavyweight mode, 5 audience cards are played. The first 2 are for lowest fraction. So the audience card here will be denominator and numerator. Players will play their cards in the numerator and denominator slots here. The middle card for battle of closest to half, be a denominator, and then numerator, denominator for largest fraction. So again, there will be 2 battles where players are trying to create the smallest fraction, 1 where players are trying to create the fraction closest to half, and 2 battles where players are trying to create the largest fraction. With 5 different battles in one round, it's possible for one player to lose 2, win 1, and then lose 2 again. So in heavyweight mode, it's very easy to lose the entire match. So both players have to be very careful and make their moves as intelligently as possible. Okay, and that is Fraction Sumo. That's how it works. I find that this is a really great way to help students compare fractions and get a better feel for what small and large fractions look like in a gameplay setting where their decisions matter. I also would suggest the amazing mathlearningcenter.org fractions app. It's a really great way for students to see the fractions and to see the numerators and denominators and to understand the relationship. Please print this out for free. If you're interested in purchasing a copy that's already printed out for you, I am working on it, and I'm just happy to share my game and my idea with the educational community. So thank you so much for giving it a try.